guys, and welcome back to Dega Babe. I'm back at last. I've been gone for so long. Well, it feels like a very long time. I think it's actually only been about 2 weeks maybe. I'm so sorry. I was caught up with so much stuff. I had so much going on. I just didn't have time to pull together a video, and it was really bothering me because we've had these two really cool trailers come out for Rogue One over the last few weeks, and all I got up was just a reaction video and nothing else. So naturally I'm going to start off back with this video, which is going to be about the two Rogue One trailers. The first one I think released, well, it's the third or the second one, which was released like 2 weeks ago, and then the other one, which was only released a few days ago, which was an international trailer. And I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw the very first trailer, I was excited to see Rogue One. I really was, but I think I was more excited about seeing episode 8 of Star Wars, and I didn't get too excited about Rogue One until these last two trailers that came out, and now I feel like I'm going to explode if I don't see it as soon as possible. And it's only a little bit over a month we have to wait to see it, but it just seems like so far away, and I really am excited now, and I can't wait. I cannot wait, and it's all because of these two trailers. Firstly, I hope it's that Gareth Edwards has done the most incredible job on this movie, and not that we just have an amazing editor who put together the trailer and really knew how to sell it, because they've really built it up to something huge. At least I think they have. They've built it up to something really big with the latest trailers. Now we're getting to see a lot more about Jyn that we didn't know before. We've seen more about her childhood and about her mother and her father. In the trailer a few weeks ago, we finally got to see Galen, her father, in their home on what looks like a farm, and Krennic coming to see him. And now we found out through the trailer that Galen is involved in the construction of the laser weapon on the Death Star, which is just like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And it kind of makes sense, because in every Star Wars story to date, kind of the iconic characters, the younger characters that come up in these movies, there's always an issue with the father, isn't there? I mean, you got Anakin there with Luke, and then you have Kylo Ren with Han, so there had to be something, right, in Rogue One that was kind of going to connect in that way, because there seems to be this path being followed of history repeating itself. In that case, if that is the case, does that mean that Jyn and Galen will face each other and Galen possibly won't survive, if we're going with how things usually roll out in Star Wars movies? Maybe, is that going to happen? Is Jyn going to face Galen? Is Galen... and from what we can see in the trailer, it looks like Galen is actually on the side of the rebellion, because he's the one who sends the information back, which we find out here.
We have intercepted a coded Imperial transmission. It indicates that a major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it. So why me?
The message was sent by your father.
So you see, we know that Galen is the one who sent the information back to the rebellion, telling them about this weapon, and he is obviously playing some huge part in actually constructing this thing. And if you don't know some backstories to Rogue One and you're only going on the trailer, it's hinting in the trailer that Galen has a great deal of experience with the kyber crystals, because we see what looks like a kyber crystal being placed around Jyn's neck when she's a child by her mother. So obviously Galen, who I believe to be a Jedi as well, judging by his clothing he's wearing and the look of him, he looks like a Jedi. He looks like a man who may have constructed lightsabers from the kyber crystals. And if that's the case, then he would be very useful, wouldn't he, on the Death Star? But the thing we don't know is whether he was taken by force to the Death Star, because himself and Krennic were supposed to have been friends during the days of the Old Republic. So if it's a case that, has he been taken by force, or did he go willingly, or of course he's probably been blackmailed that his daughter and wife, something was going to happen to them if he didn't go with Krennic and go and help with the Death Star. Or, we don't see much else about Jyn's mother. I don't know, maybe Krennic killed her. and then spared the life of Jyn in order to get Galen to go with him. And I got really excited when I saw that, because I felt like we're getting more depth out of the story now. It looks like it must be much more intense than I expected. Again, the trailer showed some really awesome battle scenes. I think the battle scenes are going to be so insane. They're going to be absolutely awesome, and judging by the special effects we've seen, it looks literally flawless. We saw this is the thing that's getting me, and I would love to get your opinion on it, guys. Just comment below, because there's one little thing that's kind of niggling away at me, and it's bothering me a bit, and I don't know if the rest of you have noticed it or anything like that, but you do see the Death Star at one stage, kind of this blurred image. I'll try and put the picture here. This blurred image of the Death Star shooting the mass laser, the green laser, out of it to hit something. And then we do see the planet Jedha. Well, we think it's the planet Jedha completely imploding. And you see Jyn and Cassian trying to escape that, as everything is they're kind of almost getting sandwiched as the land beneath them falls away, but everything above them seems to be imploding in on top of them. And so it implies that the Death Star is responsible for that. But I still have a problem with that, because in A New Hope, General Tarkin very clearly said to Leia, and I'm going to show it to you here. Do you know, I'm going to show it to you here.
In the choice of the planet that'll be destroyed first. Since you are reluctant to provide us with the location of the rebel base, I have chosen to test this station's destructive power on your home planet of Alderaan.
No,
So, if Alderaan was the first planet to be used to test the weapon on, then what the hell is happening on Jedha in Rogue One? It can't be the laser from the Death Star, can it? Or have Disney and Lucasfilm had a huge, crazy, major slip-up and caused a bit of a problem there with that? Because that's going to be argued left, right and centre by all of us, I believe. But maybe it's not the case. Maybe it's not the Death Star, or maybe it actually fails to destroy the entire planet. And so, you know, in that sense, then it wasn't the first planet. It would be the first planet still that it was tested on. I don't know, it's driving me nuts. That part of it's driving me crazy, and I would love to know what you guys think. The second thing I loved in the trailer, and actually I didn't see it the first time, was when they showed I think it was the X-Wing flying over the planet Jedha, and it showed what looked like just a rocky kind of Grand Canyon formation in the sand, and I didn't see it the first time. And then when I watched the trailer the second time, I went, holy, I'm sorry for my language, shitballs, look at that. It was like a Jedi statue, a man with a saber, and it has fallen, and it's literally in ruins, and it really is symbolic of how Anakin, there was so many years before, or how many years before, I don't know, so many years before, a good few years before, right, destroyed the Jedi Council and the Jedi Order, and they took down, the Jedi fell, and it was kind of showing that they're in the dust, they're in the dirt, and this is all that's left of them, as these kind of monuments here, there and everywhere. So there was something else that I considered in the trailer, because I'm not going to go too much into because loads of other vloggers are talking about the same old things. I was trying to see things that might be new, that might be interesting, and you know that scene they show Cassian and they show Jyn and they show the droid K2SO going into this elevator, and she's dressed at that stage in an Empire, the black, I'm lost for words now, I can't remember, the black outfit, and you can just see her eyes looking out, it's so cool. And she has what looks like 2 katanas on her back, and there's been no mention at all since these trailers have come out of any lightsaber battles going to take place in this movie. And I'm wondering, will a lightsaber battle take place in this movie, and are those 2 katanas in fact the hilts of 2 lightsabers? So it was something I wondered about, and I kind of got very excited about the idea that maybe Jyn, because if your father was the man responsible for constructing lightsabers from kyber crystals, then he would have to understand the workings of a lightsaber, and he would have to be an absolute master at using one in order to do that. You know, they say that back in the medieval era, some of the best swordsmen were the ones who actually constructed and made them, the blacksmiths who made them. So if that's the case, then are we going to get a really pleasant surprise and find out that Jyn is actually a wicked hand with a lightsaber? Because that would be awesome. I would love to see that. I would love to see a lightsaber in this movie, because Star Wars to me is not Star Wars without one. You need a lightsaber somewhere along the way. And again, I'm wondering, because we do see Galen and we do know now that he constructed lightsabers, are we going to get to see a lightsaber being constructed from scratch? And I was really excited about the idea of that, so I really hope that we do. Again, we saw a little bit more of Vader in these trailers, and actually there was one bit that I found very interesting, and it was, you see an image of Vader turning around to the camera and he's kind of in this smoky environment, but look at the way he's holding his hand, it's like this, he has it like this. That's a terrible Vader impression, but he has his hand like this. And I'm sorry, but when Vader's hand is like this, it's because he's doing this to somebody. I'm just wondering, who the hell has he just killed? Because it did look like when he was doing this that he had just killed somebody. So I'm wondering, could he be the man who's going to kill Galen and Jyn? Maybe we'll have a fight, a battle. I can't talk today. I'm so excited about this movie. Have a battle with Darth Vader, or maybe it's Krennic, because you know Vader doesn't like being told that the Death Star is the greatest, as Krennic would say, power. He nearly chokes on that. Did you notice that? He's like, the power, the power. He was literally choking on it. He was so consumed by the Death Star and so consumed by the darkness of it all that even saying the word power just choked out of him. But we all know that Vader is not really impressed with the Death Star, is he? I mean, he really isn't. He states that very clearly.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
In A New Hope. So we already know that he's really not that pushed about the Death Star. That, you know, nothing for him is stronger than the Force. So I'm wondering if maybe Krennic meets his death at the hands of Vader. And General Tarkin maybe is the one who takes his place later on in A New Hope. So I'm really excited because of so many questions in my head, and I'm sure you do too. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with it. The trailers they really are making it look massive, looking a huge movie, and actually kind of making it look even better than The Force Awakens. It's much more kind of raw the way it's filmed. It reminds me of the war of Vietnam. Some of those scenes, especially in the tropical planet, when you say, I can't remember the name. What's the name of that tropical planet again? It's gone. It's on the top of my tongue. Won't come out. No, doesn't matter. But the scenes they show there of them going through the trees, and there's just something very reminiscent of the war of Vietnam. I feel that was kind of an influence in some of that. And it just looks grittier, it looks raw, it looks full of passion, it looks like, you know, we're going to be literally blown into the wall of the movie theatre, and I really kind of hope that that's how it is. So they're my thoughts on the two trailers. And it was great as well to see Jyn's childhood. I think I said that already, but it was great to see Jyn's childhood, and kind of reminded me a little bit of the flashbacks of Rey and Rey's childhood. And I wondered if there is going to be connections there somewhere. I kind of feel like there would have to be, in order to connect it all up. There has to be some connections there somewhere with maybe Rey from The Force Awakens. Oh, and the other thing I noticed was there's a section in the trailer where they show the rain planet, which is kind of odd. At first when I looked at it, I thought, that was strange. Because the rain planet, if I'm right, is also in The Force Awakens, in Rey's Force Vision. We do see rain, and we do see Kylo Ren approaching her and the Knights of Ren. So I'm wondering if there's connections between the Ersos and the Skywalkers. Maybe there is, or whatever Rey is. We don't even know if she is a Skywalker. I personally don't think she is, but I think there's connections there. Or maybe Rey is an Erso. Maybe she's an Erso, which would be really, really cool, because it means it would all connect up beautifully the whole way along the way. But anyway, they're my opinions. My own personal opinions. I'm not influenced by anything. I kind of just look and see what I think, and then I just tell you guys. I might be completely wrong. It could be all completely something different altogether, and we might have it very, very wrong. But they're my opinions on those 2 trailers. I loved them. I can't wait to see this movie. I am so excited to see this film. But I really would love to know what you guys think yourselves. So comment in the comment box below. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to Dig-A-Babe and come and join the Force with me. And as I always say, we can rule the galaxy together with the ultimate power. As Krennic would say. So keep checking in, guys. Check out the videos. Let me know what you think. Pop up suggestions, comments, good or bad. I don't care. But, you know, I like to see the good ones. It's really cool. And the bad ones, well, that kind of comes with the territory. So there's nothing we can do about that. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. And I will talk to you next week. I promise I will have videos coming more regularly. And I am hoping to do a video before Christmas for you, not so much for you Star Wars fans, but for the people in your household who are not Star Wars fans and who don't know what to get you guys for Christmas. I'm going to do a top 10 countdown of the best Christmas prezzies for Star Wars fans. Any of my family looking at this video, for Star Wars fans that might want them. That's not my finger. Anyway, guys, may the Force be with you. Bye.